contrary to McCutcheon's position and has been established precedent since 1976. McCutcheon now, who's an Alabama businessman, now brings this case to the Supreme Court. You would think would have been turned away immediately on applying for certiorari because it's already been decided as precedent. But in fact, the case was accepted on the heels of Citizens United, and in spite of the fact that the law has always been that the act of contributing money to a politician can be restricted. It's always been able to be restricted. It's always been criminalized because it breeds corruption. It breeds the perception of corruption, and that has always been limited in regard to how much money an individual can give to a political candidate. The limits now are $123,000, as Vicki said. This case would make contributions to a candidate the equivalent of free speech, the equivalent of a protected First Amendment right. As we all know, the First Amendment is one of the most protected, provides for protection of free speech, which is one of the most protected rights in the country. In general, you cannot infringe on that through a law. What it would basically do, it would emasculate any federal limits on contributions, any state limits on contributions, and totally open the floodgates to more money, even more money, coming into the political process. McCutcheon is the plaintiff, this Alabama businessman. He's also joined by the Republican National Committee as a plaintiff. Senator Mitch McConnell is being given the opportunity to speak before the Supreme Court in regard to the issue, to address the Supreme Court on the issue, for whatever reason. Why would the Supreme Court take this up now? The irony, again, is that it's already been decided in 1976, the same issue, Buckley versus Vallejo. What has changed since 1976? Has this Constitution been somehow changed or amended and nobody got the memo? Why the change? Why the need for a change now? Again, in light of the being on the heels of Citizens United, one can only imagine what the change is. Has some new constitutional theory or truth been discovered since 1976? I haven't heard about it. Would it not be reasonable for the common citizen, for any citizen, to think that nothing's changed except the makeup of the court and the fact that money and politics has finally now permeated all institutions in America, unfortunately? We would call on the Supreme Court, including Savannah native Justice Clarence Thomas, to stand for something greater than politics, greater than money, greater than partisanship, greater than who brung you to the dance, and to take the politics out of the Supreme Court and out of the law of this land. We're calling the court to overcome the temptation to engage in judicial activism, to overcome the temptation to conjure up from thin air a sorry second leg to Citizens United. And we call for a decision that will restore faith by the American people in the judicial process and in American politics, not further erode it. Political corruption and influence peddling should remain criminal. It should not be winked at, and it should certainly not be constitutionally enshrined and protected.